Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Tuesday nights is the UkSimracers live for their final round of the season from the Sachsenring in Germany. 2.281 miles for the 2003 to the current day layout. Now, interesting fact about this, it was put in 7. I know some people have barely probably heard of this circuit at all and probably don't even know that it existed, but it does exist. And back in the day it was 5.355 miles long, 8.618 kilometers. It's a very, very interesting circuit indeed. You can see on your screen currently that is the circuit layout coming out of Quickenberg curve, which is the final curve down into turn 1, and then it sweeps through a very, very oddly shaped, wiggly bit of the circuit, and then a long looping left-hander to come out of it. Let's keep you up to date with the scores on the doors at the moment in the AM Championship. It is Charles Kellerman out in front by only 23 points over Colin Sampson and Darren McLean, a further 8 points back from that. Then we got Fiona Siddons, Alan Toon, Craig Jones, Andy Littler, Michael Lake and Mick Barry, the only ones to score points this season. In the pro standings, Dan Hunt out in front at the moment, Jamie Ayres in second, Pete Newman in third, Steve Efford, Tom Griffiths, Jamie Wilson, Ralph Cullinan, PVG, Leon Jenkins, Ollie Ricks, Andrew McEwen, Luke Pullen and Martin Sampson, Dries Neese and Carl Hardy not score points this season. In the overalls, which is the one that matter at this moment in time, it is Dan Hunt out in front by 213 points. And at the moment, he's looking for a bit of a shoe-in for this tri-season championship. Jamie Ayres on 4-5-6-4 with Pete Newman in third. Jamie Wilson, Steve Efford, PVG, Ralph Cullen and Tom Griffiths, Charles Kellerman and Colin Sampson. Then you've got Darren McLean, Fiona Siddons, Alan Toon, Ollie Ricks, Andy Littler, Darryl Wright, Martin Sampson and Steve Hansford rounding out the top 18. At the moment, it's Charles Kellerman currently ahead in the AM Championship, but again only by what's that at the moment, 9 points, 11 points actually currently at this moment in time. Now beyond that, there was a lot of names beyond that: Roger Morton, Craig Jones, Miles Owens, Mick Barry, John Sylvester. All of these drivers have taken part, but none have been here for this season. In the overall team standings currently at this moment in time, it is Momo out in front and basically a shoe-in for the championship. They really can't be caught. It doesn't really matter what happens. They're the team winners. Results Cloven in second, with Workguard in third, Optical Green, DOF, Team Chimera, Pure Sims, Euro 1, Safeguard, SimRace Sweden, Pure Sims, Letter Out, and Aero Connect. So pretty much for the whole of the tri-season, Momo have won the championship. Okay, so that's looking fairly obvious on that one. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by one Mr. Alex Goldschmidt, who will be joining us very, very shortly. Unfortunately, at this moment in time, he's just off running errands, and he will be back very, very shortly indeed. I believe he's got to have to go out and pick up his niece from I think a ballet recital, I think it was. He spoke to me earlier on, but he will be joining us in the booth here as well, and will be joining us very, very shortly. So we're into qualifying at this moment in time as well. Very, very interesting circuit. Let's jump on board with Pete Newman, who's coming round the looping left-hander at this moment in time before he goes up again, and then we've got another left-hander. Should be coming around now up the hill. There we go. There's the pits on the Sphinx. So we're on the last corner through Saxon curve. We've gone through Quickenberg curve, and now we're on that run down into turn 1. Very, very. The thing about this circuit is as well is obviously for people that haven't driven it, it's going to be very, very interesting. There's a lot of undulation. I've been sat here watching them during practice, and there's been a lot of up and downs. A lot of people, you know, going off on certain parts as well. This is that in middle bit here through Castrol Omega, which is where we're at this moment in time. Now it's his left-hander that people have been running wide on, and it seems to be that they've got to carry a lot of speed, but unfortunately it looks like some carry a little bit too much. Just there, they end off on that gravel on the left-hand side. All the way round now we go, right through for Carthelon, and then up into a short straight before we go again for another left-hander. It's It looks a very interesting circuit. Could you take anything more than an MX5 round here? I'm not sure. I think, to be honest, it's quite a short, tight circuit, and probably not for the likes of GT3s or GTPs or anything like that. I think we're more likely to see the Formula Fords, F4, maybe Super Formula Lights might be able to go around here, but other than that, I don't think there's a lot of other options. I think a GT3 would be very, very interesting indeed, but I don't really feel that they would be able to go round here adequately at this moment in time. So we'll see how they get on, I think, on that one, and see how they do and go from there. So, but listen, it's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens here. Let's see how they get on. You never can tell what's going to happen at a circuit like this, and you never can tell what goes on at all on that one. So, you know, see what happens, see how we get on, see how we go, and then see what we end up with. I'm sure the racing will be good as always. We've got four 15-minute heats. And then, of course, we've got the top 12 reverse for race number 2, and then a random reverse for the race number 3, and then a complete random reverse for race number 4. Excuse me while I play with my sound levels at the moment. A Windows update has literally pulled my microphone right the way down to 0 at this moment in time, and I'm hoping that you have just heard me for the last part of this the beginning of this broadcast. So you gotta love a good old Windows update. It does love adjusting sound levels. So let's keep an eye out. Hunt on top at the moment. Dan Hunt on top currently at this moment in time. We can still hear you. Thank you, Ash, for that one. As I say, Windows updates and sound sources, it's a wonderful thing. I don't know if anybody else has any issues with Windows updates, or it may be just me, but it does love going in and changing my sound levels for me and thinking what's best. So, you know, look, hopefully it won't do that again. So thank you so much, Ash, there as well. Don't forget, guys, if you are here for the first time, like, subscribe, turn on the bells. Pete Newman setting the best lap in qualifying on the 34.064 with a 34.067 with Jamie Ayres, Dan Hunt, Tom Griffiths, Ralph Cullinan, Steve Hefford all in the mix as well. So could be very, very interesting. One of the things I think for this race circuit is with the way these guys race and how close they race, I think this could be a very, very, very action-packed race. I think it's gonna be one of them that's gonna build up. I think race 1, people are gonna be getting used to the circuit. I've never driven here. To be blatantly honest, I didn't even know the circuit existed until it popped up at the schedule at the beginning of the season. But I think for the racing aspect, I think we could be in for a little bit of a treat. And I think knowing that we generally dedicate areas to racetracks and say, right, they're going to take there, they're going to take there. We just know with the UkSimracers and the MX5s, it's going to be anywhere. It ain't going to matter. If there's a gap, that if gap car works with these guys. That's what I'm trying to say, I think, on this one. And if you haven't watched them and you're watching them for the first time, it doesn't matter that there's only 13 drivers on the grid. Trust me, the racing you are going to get is going to be absolutely amazing. It's been amazing all season. Last race of the season, of course, here as well. Momo guaranteed the team championship. It looks like between Charles Kellerman and Colin Sampson, whoever finishes in front of the other one will take the AM championship for the season, and the same with the tri-season championship as well. So it's literally a battle of between them two. Who stays in front will win the championship, and I think that's something that we can keep in mind here as well. Without the commentator myself at the moment, as I say, trying to do maths, it's a very, very complicated thing here as well, and hopefully we can see how we get on and hopefully see what happens, because I think overall it's it's a very, very interesting track. So let me know in YouTube chat if you've raced here before. What sort of cars did you put round, and did you have fun doing it? Do you think you could run anything more than a smallish smallish car, should we say, or a Super Formula Light, like a small open wheeler? Let me know what you think on that one. Personally, I don't think GT3s or GTPs or anything big can go around here. It's primarily a motorbike circuit as well, and it's held a lot of German MotoGP around here since 1998. The ADAC GT Masters has been around here. So, you know, you never know. But I think overall, I would probably say smallish Super Formula Lights, something like that. I wouldn't go GT3s, but I believe at this moment in time we are back and joined with Mr. Alex Goldschmidt, who's arrived home and safe and well here again. Mr. Goldschmidt, are you here?
I am indeed, Mr. Parfitt. Good evening.
Good evening, dear sir. Greg and Mike, maybe TCRs at a push? Yeah, maybe. I think you might be right. As I said, I don't know if I'd want anything bigger, Alex. We're just talking about what cars can go round this circuit. Would you want to put GT cars around here, or do you think sort of nothing bigger than a Super Formula Lights, MX5s, TCRs at a push?
You can put GT3s because they have been around here with DTM this year. So, yeah, GT3s, TCRs definitely. I've even had it with LMP3s.
Really?
Yeah, on AC. It was interesting, but it was really, really good racing though. Quite close, and it was a one-make series to boot. So, yeah, I mean, Sachsenring has hosted so much in terms of MotoGP, Superbikes. Yeah, I mean, so you could pretty much throw anything up to as high as a GT3. Anything higher than that is, I think, a bit too much of a stretch. LMP2, it would be a bit too much of an aero fest, and that would mean way too much downforce, and people might not be having a good amount of, well, it wouldn't be oversteer, it'd be more like understeering.
Well, we said Super Formula Lights. Maybe sort of F4 area there as well. Oh, Greg, it isn't as bad as Tsukuba anyway. That's a bloody go-kart track. I agree with you, Greg, but you know what? I love Tsukuba. I think it's a great38 and I've seen GR86s go around, and maybe GR86s around here might be good as well. GR86, I saw 38 of them, I believe it was, round Tsukuba. That was very, very interesting indeed. That was in an Australian league I commentate for. That was very, very interesting as well. I think Tsukuba's a great circuit. But you might be right. We might get away with GTs, but no, I don't know. I think real life, Alex, to sim racing GTs is probably completely different.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it has hosted, funnily enough, the FIA GT1 World Championship back in 2011. So I would say GT4s would be a bit more conducive on sim racing. You know, yeah, you could get away with GT4s, but not with GT3s. But
yeah, no, I think you're right as well. It's the good fun in them and the FF1600s. Yeah, I think you're right. I just say I think Tsukuba's an awesome circuit. I love it. I think it's great. Would I like to see go-karts in iRacing come and go around racing around Tsukuba? Probably. You know, I think anything like that as well. But then again, I drove trucks in AC with Kev Aylett, I think it was. We were at Fruxton. That was good fun. Trucks, they don't go very fast, but boy, you can bash them around a little bit.
yeah, and you cause a lot of scenery damage if it was on as well.
Well, yeah, it was on, but I don't. To be fair, it was probably one of the most amounts of fun I've had for a very long time in sim racing. I think they should bring trucks. I think trucks is in race room. I think it is. Is it in race room and RF2?
Yeah, through a licensing deal with the FIA European Truck Racing Championship.
Love them. I think they should bring them here, to be blatantly honest as well. But then again, race room and RF2 have got the new TCRs as well. So, you know, maybe that's the way to go. I do love the new TCRs, especially BTCC ones, which is in RF2, I believe. They've released a pack of BTCC cars, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, which now effectively, because the people behind RF2, they lost the license, didn't they?
Oh, wow. It went to, it was at MSG, wasn't it?
Yeah, Motorsport Games as, oh, careful, Mr. Ayres, you don't want to go off there at Saxon at C12, but it looks to be a rather interesting qualifying in the meantime.
Yeah, it is at the moment. Dan Hunt out in front, 33.6. Newman in behind, 33.7. I'm not expecting wonders from Craig Jones, to be blatantly honest. He was moaning at me earlier. He had to get a bus from work, and his poor little bus broke down. So he hadn't bought the track until about probably 20 minutes ago. He hadn't done no practice. He wasn't going to race. He felt all sorry for himself because the poor bus that he had to wait. I know, Alex. He had to wait 20 minutes for the bus, and then the bus broke down, and it was all very dramatic there as well. And you know, AO, it's not our fault he can't drive. So tough on that one, Mr. Jones, to be blatantly honest. But qualifying on a 1:33.644 with Dan Hunt. Darren McLean leading the AMs at the moment. Very interesting battle between Colin Sampson and Charles Kellerman. Kellerman's another one. No practice, bought the track very, very late indeed. So maybe by about race 3, Charles Kellerman and Craig Jones might start getting on the pace a bit. But, you know, there we go. Not the bus. Yes, Greg, the bus. The bus broke down on him while he was coming home from work. So, unfortunately, he got home. He had to wait for another one, I guess, on that one. I guess they're not like London buses that turn up every 5 minutes and then you don't get one for 5 minutes and then you get free.
You
know what I mean?
It's like the old, you're hoping for 1 and 2 come along at the same time. You're like, where did you spring from? You know,
you're like, hold on a minute, where's me 22 bus gone? And then at 10-2, you get all 3 of them. You get the 22,
you get the 22, the 43, and the 69. You know,
all at the same time. But there we go. We'll see what happens. Not long left of qualifying, guys, as well. I know you've been
great in betweeners reference from Greg on YouTube chat as well. Shouldn't have been a bus, Walker.
Oh dear. Do you know what though? Right, I laugh at that, Greg, and I have no idea what you mean because I haven't watched the film or I haven't watched the program.
Well, for those in-betweeners fans, you know exactly what Greg's talking about.
Maybe. As I say, I haven't watched it. I'm sorry, Greg. It's not something I've really sat and watched. Let's bring out the grid for race number 1. Dan Hunt on pole with Pete Newman. Don't what me, Greg. It's not my fault. Dan Hunt on pole with Pete Newman and Jamie Ayres, with Ralph Cullen and Tom Griffiths and Jamie Wilson. Steve Efford in 7th, rounding out the pros. Then you've got Darren McLean leading the AMs with Colin Sampson, Charles Kellerman, Fiona Siddons and Craig Jones in behind that. And then the last on the grid, of course, is our very own 71-year-old man, Mr. Alan Toon, who's at the back end there. But to be blatantly honest, I don't think he cares. He just enjoys racing, does old Tooney, and he does a great job at it as well. Very, very. You've missed out. I know. I got told that about Game of Thrones as well, Greg. I don't watch that either. So I'm sorry.
To each their own, as they say.
Yeah. I did watch a very interesting couple of Christmas films yesterday with the wife. I've got to be honest, they were very bizarre. So, just to let you know as well. One with Santa going on the rampage. Very, very interesting. Funny enough, that's got the guy from the Stranger Things, the policeman Hopper from Stranger Things, is in a Christmas film.
Billy Bob Thornton, Bad Santa, wasn't it?
No, not that one. Violet Night, it was called. Right, 5 lights. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Race 1 is up and running. Dan Hunt has just about got the whole shot. I tell you what, Jamie Ayres is looking to get over on Pete Newman very, very shortly. Going into 1 through the right hand we go. Newman's got the inside line from Ayres, battling away. There's already collisions in the back. Tom Griffiths has already gone round there as well. People picking up places left, right, and centre. But Dan Hunt, Pete Newman going at it in the front, and at the moment they're very, very, very interesting race at the beginning. And as per what we expected, Dan Hunt takes the old shot. Tom Griffiths and Steve Efford go round.
Yeah, as they're heading through turns 5 and 6 at Sternquell, there are some interesting corner names, let's say, here at Sachsenring. So we'll just use the depending on what we feel like, either turn names or turn corners. And Ralph Cullen goes very, very off track coming out of T7 as they go through 8. A lot of elevation changes here. at Sachsenring, but it's conducive to the racing. I mean, as we all know, UK sim racers with the good old Mazda MX5s always provide great racing. I mean, especially when we had the good old cheerleading incident involving Mr. Craig Jones and Pete Newman a while ago.
Is he going to get it up the... he's tightening up. He might get it into the left-hander. Final corner of the circuit. Pete Newman's looking. Oh, he lost a lot of speed going out there. Unfortunately, I thought he was almost going to get in there. Alex, Tom Griffiths has looked like he's had a horrendous one. Let's have a look back at Steve Hefford and see what went on. Steve's in the outside in the yellow and red Momo car. Got free wide.
Jamie Wilson.
Yeah, in the middle. And then unfortunately that all just caused a knock-on effect for Tom Griffiths, but the race is still hotting up at the front here as well. Darren McLean is ahead of Mr. Wilson currently, chasing down Ralph Cullinan, and he's leading the AMS over Colin Sampson. This is the important one, Sampson and Kellerman. If Sampson finishes in front of Kellerman for the whole entire night, he should take the Tri-Am Championship and this season's AM Championship as well. Now that's with me unofficially, of course. Don't trust a commentator to do maths while we're commentating, because it doesn't always work out. But if he just finishes in front of Kellerman, he should wrap up the championship. But Dan Hunt, Pete Newman going at it once more through the left-hander they go as well, Alex. Very, very interesting circuit. We talked about the elevation at the beginning. It's very up and down, very lots of it in lots of elevation as well. Quite a clean second half of the circuit, but that first part, that first section, very, very wiggly indeed. Pete Newman's got the run at the moment down the hill. Is he going to be able to get it through the left-hander at Sachsenring curve at the top? He's not, but Jamie Ayres is coming at him too for now here as well. Very, very, very tight, close racing, but it's nothing more than we expect.
Yeah, now through Queckenberg here at turn number 13. Newman dives up the inside of Dan Hunt. Jamie Ayres is going to pull it to the left-hand side, down the start-finish straight. Is it going to be three wide? There's more than enough room to fit about 5 or 6 MX5s side by side. Hunt still holds on to the race lead into turn number 1 here at Coca-Cola. Ayres trying to put it around the outside of Newman. Newman keeps it pinned to the inside line, now into the left at 2. Yeah, like you said, James, the elevation changes, the quick changes of direction, especially in the opening 2 sectors. Of course, thank God we've got 3 sectors on this particular track, because sector 2 starts just coming out of turn number 7, and then sector 3 starts on the run through the right-hand kink down at turn 11, which is actually down a hill. So that's one of the other good things, that we're seeing pretty good top speeds here, around about 126, 127 miles an hour, but I think the person that's going to be losing a little bit more time than anybody else, if he keeps on going off track, is Ralph Cullinan down in 4th.
Yeah, I think the problem is that section where he ends up going off is that this next looping left-hander. Now, we'll stay on board with Ralph here. You go down. The problem is you're going downhill before you've even gone anywhere, which is never good, because you're trying to pick a braking point to get the car stopped, and then you've got this long looping left-hander. Look at Newman at the moment. We're going to jump on board with Jamie Ayres, who's got a bird's-eye view of this. Now he's going to try and put it around the outside. Newman's got that inside line. Through they go. 1, 2, and 3. Cullinan manages to hold on to the circuit. He's not too far away either, as these guys go racing up over the hill. That long left-hander up through Sachsenring curve and through the Quickenberg curve as well. That's generally where we're seeing a lot of the off-tracks and a lot of running wide. Newman's on the defense here, and I've never seen Newman drive quite as defensively as he is at the moment.
That was very, very close there, because Ayres just tried to throw the Hail Mary at Newman. Newman just thought, okay, right, I've got to plant it there somehow and keep Jamie at bay, because obviously this is, they've still got another 3 races to run on this one. So yeah, it's just about being millimetre perfect around here at Sachsenring. You've got a high average speed, and more to the point, you've got to have a big set of cojones to try and throw a Hail Mary around the outside and do the old Slim Shady, and that's what Jamie Ayres has been trying to do. But it's not paying off at the minute. Yeah,
no, I agree. I think that's the thing. It's for Jamie Ayres now, he's got to kind of decide where he's going to go. He's opening up to Ralph, not much, half a second, and he's just hanging on the coattails of Pete Newman. And for him, he's got to make a decision. Does he go for it, or does he sit back and wait for the mistake? And we have seen Hunt and Newman come together. It's not the first time. It won't be the last. So is Ayres doing the right thing, sitting back, just waiting as they're going to go over the start-finish line for the start of lap 6?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of just waiting to pick up the pieces, because if you're trying to throw the Hail Mary around the outside of the opposition, there's only so many times you can try and do that and keep going. And he's now trying to be a little bit smarter with regards to the racecraft, and by that is that trying to switch it high to the outside, then try and cut back through, and sometimes that can be a little bit of a better tactic in a circuit like this.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's the thing. He's just got to make sure that he's going to be in and around there, and that he can pick up where he needs to. Cullinan's closed onto the back of Ayres. Newman's in there through the left-hander. They go all the way round now. This is a long looping left-hander. They're coming to another one that seems to go on for ages. It's a kind of a three-part left-hander. You go into one, and then you've got up a little bit, and then you go into another one, and then left again. It's almost a stretched out version of Spoon almost in Suzuka, the way that it runs. Now you're going to be going down the hill, aren't you? And then you're coming into another left-hander. It's a very left-handed orientated track, which is not something that we see every single day.
No, not really. I mean, it's a bit like an expanded version of Istanbul Park, you know, turn 7, which is a triple left. But you can see as we ride aboard with Pete Newman, he's keeping in the wheel tracks of Dan Hunt, and gets a really, really good run coming out of Queckenberg, which is turn 13. Now, Newman's got an opportunity here. Hunt's going to keep it planted to the right-hand side to keep the inside line for turn 1. But Newman is feeling he's got the bravery pills now, and he's nosed ahead for the moment, but he's going to lose that momentum. Could that open the door for Jamie Ayres? Not quite.
Yeah, near enough. Newman's going to almost look to basically running it through very, very long, and that saying of take it around the outside and hope it sticks was what Newman really had to do. Wilson, McLean and Sampson have come back together. Hefford's made his way back through the field. He's up into 8th at the moment, ahead of Kellerman, ahead of Jones. Griffiths is... I can only describe Griffiths' first race as absolutely rotten, because he's crashed 3 times, been off track twice, and that's enough for anybody. And this guy drives these cars in real life, so, you know, if he's having trouble, that's the worrying thing, isn't it?
It is. I mean, also, another driver that's had a bit of a drama is Fiona Siddons, because she had an early incident after we saw the contact between Steve Hefford and Tom Griffiths going through into Coca-Cola for the first time on lap number 1. But this fast left-hander is proving to be to the help of Pete Newman. But this is now opening the door through into turn number 12 here at Saxon Curve. And is Jamie Ayres going to get through? Not quite. Newman's going to try and keep it around the outside here at Queckenberg. He's going to lose all that momentum. He's going to lose the advantage. It's going to open the door for Jamie Ayres. And now Newman and Ayres are making it 3 wide. Hunt is in the middle.
Yeah, 3 wide going into turn 1. Cullinan's in there as well. He's hanging on to the coattails. Is he going to be able to make it 4? He's not. Newman's going to come out on top. Ayres is still 3 wide. Cullinan's going to slip underneath him. Is he going to go and grab 3rd place away? He's not. Didn't quite get the exit that he wanted. And now through the left-hander at the moment, through that long right-hander, which almost comes back on yourself. Pete Newman, 3 wide, turn 1, comes out in front.
That was great anticipation there from Pete Newman. Just decided to keep it pinned to the inside line coming out of turn number 13 at Queckenberg. And it's a very, very long start-finish straight here at Sachsenring. So it really sort of helps you gather that momentum. And also slipstream heading into T1 at Coca-Cola. But then that's the first of only a minimal amount of right-handers here at the circuit. So it was a case of Newman knew that he had to put it a little bit on the line there.
Yeah, he did, and that's the thing, to stay out in front or to get out in front. He knew he had to send it, and he did it well. He had the inside line that gave him a good run, and there, so he managed to make his way through. Ayres and Cullinan dropped off just a little bit. 1.6 back to Wilson, McLean, and Sanson. Sanson pressurising McLean for the lead in the arms from the year one, and is ahead of Charles Kellerman. That's more important to Colin Sanson this time in this race. He has to finish in front of Charles Kellerman and is doing that by 2 places currently. So great run there. Dan Hunt on the right, Pete Newman on the left, 2v2 going into turn 1.
And well, the overspeed quite significantly in the favour of Dan Hunt from the DOF Reality Sim Racing Studios number 7 car. He retakes the lead now on lap number 8, and it just quickly shows how sudden the slipstream can be. I mean, even in these cars, but a mistake from Dan Hunt there, going through into Castrol Omega at C3, nearly opened the door once again.
Yeah, he just ran a little bit long, a little bit deep into it, through the left-hander as Sternquire we go, through it, coming down into Kafellen, round, long looping. As I said, this left-hander just goes on for absolutely ages, and now it's on the gas again. Newman's got to get close again, and he has done that already. Through the left-hander, running up the hill now. Newman still tucked in right behind. Ayres has still got Cullinan in behind that. Greg's going to be joining the races soon as well. That's going to be looking forward to seeing what Greg can do. Are you going to be at the front, Greg? Or are you going to be at the back? Let us know where your racing pace will be. But look at this from Jamie Ayres. You can see the Newman Hunt battle side by side through the left-hander, a Saxon curve. And now, is he going to be able to make it through? He's not. He's still running him around the outside at the moment. Pete Newman down on through the final corner. Is he going to be a repeat of what we saw going in last time? Jamie Ayres has carried massive speed. He's run a little bit wide, but he's still in there at the moment. He's still going to be 3 wide, I think. Which way is he going to go? He's following Newman. He's chosen his horse, and he's pushing that old nag along. Pete Newman's going to take that lead over Dan Hunt, thanks to the help from Jamie Ayres. I do wonder if Ayres could have sent that 3 wide and possibly went round the outside to get both of them.
It could have been a bit of a tall order, if I'm completely honest with you, JP, because the way that Newman had just got the run, Ayres was just, he'd gone a little bit off at Kveckenberg at turn 13, which you rightly pointed out, and I think he played his cards there a little bit, if I'm honest with you. But he had to make the decision, and it was not going to be an easy one. It was either stay behind Newman, get the slipstream, get the jump on Hunt possibly, or try and go to the left and then get forced to the outside, and maybe that could have put the opportunity for Cullinan to get through. Yeah. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. We've got this and one more to go because time is fast running out. It
is. We're down to the minute 15 there as well. Miggy's in. Welcome in, Miggy. How are you? Miatas, he says in chat. And poor old Greg says he's probably going to be in the wall. If not, he expects to be mid-pack. Well, Greg, let's see how you get on. Hunt's going to take that.
Oh, he got his nose cut off there.
Yeah, I don't know if it was indecision whether or not he was going to send it there or not, but he looked like he was going to give it a go, and I think now it's this run again. The run that Ayres gets seems to be absolutely amazing coming out of that final corner. You know what I mean? He can start quite far back and then get a run and a half, and he takes it all the way alongside. You can see now he's picked Dan Hunt as his horse at race, or his horse in the race. Newman's going to hold on to it. Ayres is going to try to cut back. Is he going to make it through 1? No. Through the left-hander and 2 before we go running down into Castro Omega, the long right-hander that comes back on themselves. Newman's looking like he might hold on to this, Alex, because there ain't many places left for these guys to have an overtake.
It's going to be a photo finish at the line coming out of turn number 13, I think, to be honest with you, the way that things have been. But Ralph Cullinan could be the dark horse here in the opening race. Of course, we've got a top 12 reverse for race 2 coming up next. But yeah, now Newman's got that little bit of a window of advantage, about the best part of half a second. So that is going to play to his advantage. They're going to go through turn 8 up the hill. And not just for the not just for this particular occasion. You then got turns 9 and 10, very, very quick part of the circuit. Then into the right-hand kink down the hill here at turn 11. 2 corners to go after this. And Saxon curve. Where's Hunt going to place the car to the outside? There's got to look up the inside. He does not get through, though. But is Newman going to hang on here in race 1?
Watch his run coming out his final curve for Jamie Ayres. He seems to carry the speed a lot more. There he goes. There he goes. He's now got to just open it up and pull to the left-hand side, but it is going to be Pete Newman. Oh, the start line's right at the end of the corner. Oh, well, that jeopardised it, but Pete Newman comes over the line, takes the victory in race 1 with Dan Hunt and Jamie Ayres there. What's going on with Jones and Kellerman? They're having, well, that weren't supposed to happen, I'm pretty sure, on the final lap for both of these.
That was definitely not part of the script. Oh, here we go. Right, down the hill. Now, this is going to be turn number 12. Craig just dive bombs him. And Charles just turns in, and then whoopsie.
Yeah, I don't think he half expected Jones to be there, because I don't think anybody would have expected Jones to go and send it up from that. I know, Greg, I know, but there we go. It's Craig Jones. We have to forgive him here as well. I hope everyone is feeling well and racing fast. I'm not bad. Still a little bit croaky, Miggy. Gotta be honest. The voice is still a little bit squiffy after me man flu I had all week last week. So yeah, recovering, but still a little bit croaky, dear sir.
And here comes Tooney. He's going to be across the line in 11th, and then last but by certainly no means least, a lap down after a trip through the pit lane. Fiona Siddons is going to round out the finishing order, and poor old Tom Griffiths was out with just a handful of laps to go, but great racing at the front there, JP.
Absolutely. It was very hard to show anything after that because the racing was so good. Pete Newman is your winner with Dan Hunt in second, and Jamie Ayres. That's the 1, 2, 3 in the pros. Then we've got Ralph Cullinan and Jamie Wilson, 4th and 5th. Darren McLean takes the AM win. Colin Sampson takes a vital second place ahead of Charles Kellerman. Steve Hefford splitting the AM podium. Craig Jones, Alan Toon, Fiona Siddons and Tom Griffiths there rounding out the 13. Tom had what can only be deemed as probably his most rotten race of the season. We have entered into warm-up, 4.5 minutes to go. Glad you're feeling better. Voice sounds good. Wow.
Your voice actually sounds normal to me as well, mate. So
trust me, mate, I don't feel it. I've got to be honest.
I know. There's sounding great and then there's feeling great, and they are two completely different situations in their own right. Believe you me.
Stopping juice or stopping orange juice after every time I talk, just to soften the blow, shall we say. But there we go. Well, glad it sounds all right, Miggy, anyway. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the bells. We've got race 2 coming up very, very shortly. Top 12 reverse for race 2. That's pretty much everybody is going to flip round. Now, that's going to put Fiona Siddons and Alan Toon on pole, with Craig Jones and Charles Kellerman in behind. Tom Griffiths just missing out, obviously, in 13th, 5 laps down. Could be interesting for them two at the front, couldn't it?
Yeah, and also an opportunity for Griffiths to potentially do a top gear from the rear. The last to first challenge now makes its presence known.
I'll be interested to see whether or not he can manage that, to be blatantly honest with you.
As long as he gets through turns 2 and 3 fine, should be okay, fingers crossed, or touch wood.
Either one.
Do both just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, that's me just tapping myself on the head.
That's what I was doing just then.
Yeah. Giving yourself a little tap on the edge, touch wood. On the side of the head there as well. So I'm going like with Pinocchio or something, you know what I mean? But very, very interesting indeed. Oh, yeah, and I think that's the thing, I think, with some of that, you know what I mean? Obviously, I've got kids, so I watch kids' film at least once a day. So, yeah, but you got to love the classics, Pinocchio, stuff like that as well. It's very, very interesting indeed. But let us know how your day's been, how you're feeling. Are you all okay? Is everything fine? Are you having a good day or not? We do reply, as you've seen, so we don't just completely ignore our wonderful viewers sitting at home in a YouTube chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells. That would be absolutely amazing as we're pushing the 3K subscriber mark at this moment in time. So it'd be great to have you all on board for that one. What's going to happen in race 2? Tooney, Kellerman, Jones, Siddons at the front. 4 AMs.
Possibly they. Well, I'm hoping that they're all going to get through, but never say never with UK SimRacers and the good old MX5s, because something is bound to happen. If we've seen Steve Hefford and Tom Griffiths come together, anything's possible.
I'm a little bit worried about Alan Toon.
Yes.
Because he normally does the start and then pulls over, but if he does that on race 2 going into 1, he could cause a little bit of carnage.
Yeah, I think it's just about playing your cards right, a bit like Brucey, good old Brucey Forsyth. Good game, and all that. But as I said, this is a fast-flowing track. You've got to be very, very confident in not just yourself, but obviously knowing the limit of your skills and the car, how they work together as one. And that's going to be the biggest thing here on this second race. Yeah, we've got an inverted top 12. We know what Fiona's capable of. We've seen, well, we had you earlier on this season, didn't we? Singing Tooney's praises because he finally got a class win in the AMs.
Best moment ever. Best moment ever.
I know.
You know what I mean? That was the highlight of the year of this season. I've got to be honest. Getting Tooney and having a class win, it was absolutely amazing. So there you go. Good luck for the next race, Cole. Colin Sampson. There you go. I'm going to presume on that one. Still working, but we'll have a 4-day holiday starting tomorrow here in the US for Thanksgiving. Nice. Oh, I wish we had things like that.
I know.
I don't know. What can we make up? I don't know. There's got to be a day somewhere that we don't celebrate something. It's got, I don't know, National Commentators Day or something, and you all get holiday. That sounds about good.
Shouty People Day.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, doesn't it? But we're going to bring you out the grid for race number 2.
So, starting on pole position, having finished 12th in the opening race of the night, Fiona Siddons should be joined by Alan Toon on the front row. Craig Jones and Charles Kellerman, watch out for those two. They've already got previous from race 1. They start on row 2. Steve Hefford and Colin Sansom on row 3, with Darren McLean and Jamie Wilson row 4. Ralph Cullinan and Jamie Ayres complete the top 10, with Dan Hunt, Pete Newman and Tom Griffiths bringing up the rear of the 13-strong field. Another 15 minutes on the clock here to go. And then we'll have a little bit of a breather here on the JP Broadcasting Network. And there is still plenty of racing action all across this week. So we're just waiting for Messrs. Wilson and Griffiths to ready up. They'll have a little bit of time to do so. But once we have got that traditional standing start here with the MX5s for the UK SimRacers here on Tuesday nights. Of course, we've got the Radical Race Series SR10 Championship this coming Thursday. However, the red lights are on the gantry here at the Sachsenring for race number 2 for round 12, and a lot of wheel spin from pretty much the majority of the field. Good launch by Fiona Siddons as Craig Jones tries to thread the eye of the needle a little bit going into the opening as they filter their way into Coca-Cola for the first time. Jones round the outside of Tooney, gets through. Steve Hefford also trying to make early moves up the order. He's already up into P3. Tooney Lily gets pinched by, well, squeezed by both Kellerman and I think Sansom. Sansom's up to P4. Oh. And Griffiths has just come out of the pit lane. Jamie Wilson has come out of the pit lane. So those two didn't make it. Sharp intake of breath as we had the likes of McLean and Wilson side by side. Ayres there as now Steve Hefford trying to get through, and this is at turn 7 into T8. Hefford and Jones going wheel to wheel into 8 up the hill. Hefford gets through for second and gets a little bit sideways at the same time there, JP.
Oh, so does Cullinan. Cullen got that sideways. He was off the side of the surrogate, bless him, there for Charles Kellerman. And unfortunately, he did take a little bit of a burden. But Siddons, you're right, got off the line, got a great start. So did Jones in behind. Sampson again ahead of Kellerman, vitally important in the AMs. Hefford's just about to take the lead. Jones is trying to wiggle his way through here as well. Alex, great job from Steve Hefford. Got off the line, up 4 places now out in front. A lot of wide runners in the background. It was looking like the Grand National then, with the racehorses off in a different direction.
Or rallycross with the Joker lap there coming out of turn number 12. But over the line for the opening lap, Steve Hefford leads by half a second from Craig Jones. Jamie Ayres rounds out the top 3 as they head through into Coca-Cola. And then we have got the likes of Siddons, McLean, Newman, Hunt, Kellerman. They're all in close proximity. Sansom trying to dive up the inside of Ayres, who nearly gives them a hip check going through into T2. Down the hill into Castrol Omega here at turn 3. And I think the drivers were a little bit, okay, using more than track limits. But on this particular occasion, a little bit of a clearer start. Of course, Tom Griffiths actually not making it onto the grid and didn't make it onto the grid.
There she goes. Round she goes. Now, was there contact? That's a little bit of a worry with Dan Hunt.
I think, yes, little bit of a push to bump and run there, as the Aussie say.
A little bit of a punt to pass from Dan Hunt, but on he goes. Jones is now sitting in second, got Ayres in behind, Steve Hefford still out in front, Sampson in still ahead of Kellerman, but Pete Newman trying to come through the field here over Darren McLean on that run through to Sachsen Curve at the top part of the circuit, or bottom part, depending on where you are on the racetrack, of course. But Craig Jones under pressure with Jamie Ayres. Oh, Hefford's off.
At all, but Steve Hefford. Steve Hefford runs wide, so does Colin Sansom. Oh, dearie me. I think track limits could be a focus. I mean, Hefford's now got a lead of over 1.1 seconds as we head on to lap number 3 with 11 minutes and 40 to go. But Jonesy still keeping hold on to second, but for how much longer? It's not a case of if, it's a case of when does Jamie Ayres pull the trigger. It won't be through here at turn number 1 unless Jonesy makes a mistake. Newman trying to throw the Slim Shady around the outside of Sansom. And Jonesy still keeps a hold on to second position. But now Ayres trying to get up the inside. And Ayres touches Jones and goes around.
Oh, very, very ambitious move from Jamie Ayres. I don't know if he had room. Was there?
There was room.
And it was front to left as well. It wasn't even on the bumper. It was on the door panel of Craig Jones. So maybe that might have been on Jones for not leaving enough room there.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a tall order to try and do that. But more to the point, it's a case of, you know, Jonesy had the right to defend and could have opened up the steering a little bit there, but he was battling for position out on track. Okay, it wasn't class position, but he's running second, and he'll want to keep a hold of that. You know what he's like.
Yeah, he does like to boast about his trophies, does Craig Jones, but Sampson nearly got, front to rear from Dan Hunt. Hunt's, oh, look at the run Kellerman's going to go. He's going to go and get both of them. I think he might actually end up getting both of them here. Kellerman's got to go to the right-hand side. No. Steady. Here we go. He's going to go 3 wide. Oh, no, Sampson's in the middle. Back out. You need this for the championship. He does back out.
But Hunt round the outside there. He's going to line it up neatly here for T2. Great bit of anticipation and spatial awareness there from Dan Hunt. So got the bog off special, didn't he?
Yeah, he got it through on that one, but I really thought for poor old Colin Sampson that was going to be game over. I thought he was going to be compressed like an orange in a juicer there at one point, but he managed to think about it, come out and back out on that one and get himself into a better position. Again, he's just got to stay ahead of that man in the optical green there, Mr. Charles Kellerman, and that should mix up the championship to the point of where Sampson should take it. Jones is under pressure from Newman, but for how long is he going to hold him up for? And again, is it a matter of when he's going to get past, not if he's going to get past?
Yeah, and also with the low-lying sun here at Sachsenring, it could cause issues for peripheral vision, it can do so, folks, because you have that glint off of the tarmac. And here is Pete Newman. He's going to dive up the inside. Wow. Oh, that was textbook Newman in a nutshell. Yeah. But I think Craig could also, in some respects, have an opportunity to learn something here as Colin Sansom and Ralph Cullinan go wheel to wheel, side by side out of Queckenberg at the final corner. Cullinan gets through. Sansom still ahead of McLean and Kellyman. That's second, third and fourth in the AM class as we go on to lap 5.
Jones is being pulled along by Newman here. He's just got to try and stay with him. He's gone in a little bit deep into one. That's going to allow Hunt to run. He's now got to hug the left-hand curve like his favourite grandma. Through he goes, through the right-hander. He's got to keep him on his tip, because if he gives him an inch, Dan Hunt will take a mile. You know, it's like if you leave the door open, he's going to burgle your house. You can't do it with Hunt. You've got to close him in, compress him, and make sure he's got no way through. And Craig's got to drive very, very defensively indeed here and try and hold on. But again, Hunt's very quick, second in race number 1. How long is he going to hang around for?
Probably not that long, because we've hit half time in this race. As now Pete Newman putting the pressure onto Steve Hefford. Dan Hunt has got the fastest lap of the race so far. He's got Ralph Cullinan behind him, so it makes it a 3-car brawl. Hunt goes wide coming out of turn 10, and that's allowed Cullinan and Sansom to get through. And now Newman up the inside. He's going to use that move again through into T12, but Steve Hefford carries the momentum round the outside of Saxon Curve, and now on the run through to Queckenberg here at turn number 13. Pete Newman on the conclusion of lap number 5 is up from 12th and now is in the lead. Yeah,
for the lead of the race, Greg must have heard some of the conversation there. Who's going to rob my house? On that one.
Don't leave your front door open, mate, is all we're going to say on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Jones still sitting in third. Cullinan was literally right behind him. Newman was being pushed along from Hefford, which was handy. Cullinan's now going to try and go round the outside. Nope, not this time. McLean's still in there with Hunt. Hunt still trying to come back after running very, very wide indeed. He's just gone and opened up that door. In fact, for McLean, and closes it on the exit while McLean is on his run there. But Newman, you can't fault the guy. 11 places in 5 laps. Job done. He's looking incredibly quick here. However, for this poor young man, he has got this going on right behind him, and he's an Irishman who is blood-fueled with the old whiskey for Ralph Cullinan. So, yeah, you're going to be a tough one, Craig Jones, I think.
Yeah. And now he's going to look for the move, possibly through here into 9 and 10. That is a great little bit of textbook lining up the inside. And through goes Cullinan. Jones still. He's got his elbows out and sharpened as the number 29 of Mr. Craig Jones as they go through. It's number 12. But, Colin Sansom, you nearly got squeezed.
Where did he come from? Jones is out in the sand and doing sandcastles. I wouldn't even mind, but he don't even like sand in real life. Cullinan, I tell you what, he spun Hunt.
Oh, well, and Hunt was in the barriers. That's a return to garage with just over 5 minutes to go. Well, it was going to be a case of something had to give. And here's the replay. So you see Jones going wide. Hunt's got a really good run on the overspeed. They turn in. Craig keeps turning left. Oh, hits the right rear and boom, slight little love tap with the right front. Dan decides to park it in the pit lane there.
Oh no. Did he get... This wasn't him just going... Happened? I think Ralph Cullinan's gone off it. Oh, he's got put across. Oh, God, it's all gone on. Jones is in the barrier.
Now, was this on his own? He's trying to close on in.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just off the back end.
Oh, he's back in pit lane. They've all of a sudden, mad 5 minutes. Everybody's gone flying. And people are sitting in the pit lane. The only one that's not is Charles Kellerman, who's picking up the pieces, still behind Colin Sampson, still behind Darren McLean, but has got Ralph Cullinan for company. So that was a mad couple of minutes of everybody going through there. It's like the full moon had come out at some point.
Or all the naughty all the naughty kids in the classroom had been told they were going to detention in 30 seconds time. But Ralph Cullinan looking up the inside of Charles Kellerman, not quite getting through there at turn number 12 at Saxon Curve, but Cullinan's going to have the inside line for the final corner. Short run up to the start-finish line here at the circuit, and you could just see across the line they go. Nip and tuck between these two, but in the meantime, Pete Newman, fastest lap of the race, 1.9 seconds, make that 2 seconds up the road as we're on lap number 8. Steve Hefford rounding out second. Darren McLean leading the AMs in third at about 3.5 tenths ahead of Colin Sansom. So battle for the class lead for AM looking a lot closer than the Pro one. Tooley's just been off track, unfortunately. And Mr. Craig Jones has been in the pits for nearly a minute and a half, bless him, after his little faux pas.
Yeah, I'm surprised you had any YouTube chat there at the moment as well. Just had a brief emergency as my coffee went shooting across my desk here, and I'm still managing just to save some of it. But coming into the final few laps now, and Ralph Cullinan got ahead of Colin Sampson. Darren McLean has now got, Ralph Cullinan getting ahead of Charles Kellerman, and Colin Sampson getting ahead of Darren McLean there as well. What do you do to scare the coffee off? Well, I had a load of piece of paper on my desk that I use for race notes, and unfortunately, let's just say I don't have any race notes at the moment.
They're all a bit saturated, let's say, with caffeinated water.
Yes.
Nevertheless, we will be going on to 2 laps remaining, so we're on to lap 9, and we still concentrate on the battle here with Darren McLean and Colin Sansom. And that is for the AM class lead and also the W in that one. Steve Hefford now 3 seconds behind Pete Newman. Looking at the lap time, Steve just did a 35.3. Pete just did a 34.2. So the 118 for Pure Sims. Team also linked with multi-time British Touring Car champion Ashley Sutton, who's still looking to try and beat that all-time record of 4 titles in the British Touring Car Championship. But more to the point, you can just see that Colin Sansom starting to put the frighteners on Darren McLean as the leaders go through in towards turn number 8. And next time around, I think we might be on course for this and one more. But Steve Hefford, however, has taken a massive amount of time out of Pete Newman, who had a very, very difficult first sector. 1.4 seconds was the differential. Yeah,
I'm not quite sure if Newman may have made a mistake there. But he's still got 1.8 to play with. Wilson and Siddons are very, very close. In fact, they're very, very close at the moment. Wilson is just running up the inside in the final lap of the race for these guys. Over the line they go. Wilson's just about to take Siddons there. He's going to tighten up the left-hander, run around the outside, make a work for it on that outside line, but Wilson is going to come out on top. Pete Newman taking the white flag here as well. Out of interest, what do you use for camera work, etc.? These streams is SDK I use with customized overlays that I build myself, and we use that. So there we go. That's what we do all our camera work through. But Pete Newman drove impeccably, up 11 places. Alex, great job from him.
Yeah, managed to get through by the end of lap 5 to the race lead, having overtaken Steve Hefford. So Pete Newman, biggest gainer of the evening. Of course, after this, we'll have a little bit of a breather before we go on to races 3 and 4 here at the Sachsenring for the UkSimracers MX5 autumn season, part of the Tri-Season Championship, through in towards turn 8. Up the hill again for the final time, the 118 of Pure Sims, Pete Newman, being followed by Momo Steve Hefford in the number 72. They lead the way first and second respectively. Colin Sansom now ahead of Darren McLean in the lead for the class in AMS, as our leaders make their way down towards turns 12 and 13. Saxon and Kreckenberg for the final time here on this particular exchange. But now Darren McLean trying to put the frighteners on Colin Sansom. Into Saxon they go for the final time, but out of the final corner, run by McLean, who's lost it, and he's going to hit the barrier hard. Out of the final corner, though, Pete Newman takes the win. Steve Hefford in second. Colin Sansom will round out the top three and take the AM class win. But what a disaster for Darren McLean coming out of turn number 12. Got a run on Colin Sansom, lost the back end. And boy, oh boy, did the front end spank the barriers.
I don't know if he lost the back end or if he hit him. And I can't work out if he hit him and then trying to not hit him, broke, and then absolutely ended up just... Yeah, he did hit him.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, I think his little touch on Colin Sansom, you know, we saw the back end of the 24 have a little bit of a shimmy. But I thought it was quite close on contact from what we saw on the trackside camera, as our good friend Tootie is definitely making a nice little meal out of this to have a little bit of fun here. And you know, yes, he may be 71 years young, but he's definitely young at heart.
He definitely is there as well, bless him. Taking his first overall class victory this season alone. Done a great job. But there are the results on the screen.
Well, two different winners from two different races. Pete Newman takes the victory here in race 2 ahead of Steve Hefford. Colin Sansom, for year 1, picks up another class win in the AMS and is one more step closer and closer to the AM tri-season title. Ralph Cullinan and Jamie Ayres ran at the top 5 ahead of Charles Kellerman, who finishes second in the AMS. Jamie Wilson in 7th ahead of Fiona Siddons, and Sir Alan Tood rounding out the top 9. Unfortunately, Darren McLean closing in on the dying stages of the race to Colin Sansom. A little bit of a love tap between the pair sent the 55 off and hard into the barriers with the front end completely rearranged. Craig Jones retiring with 3 laps to go. Dan Hunt with 5 laps to go, having been thrown off track, so to speak. Tom Griffiths not even making the start. Well, I don't know about you, James, but I think it's time for a little bit of a breather ahead of our next 2 races here at the Sachsenring.
Yep, fully agreed on that one, mate. And as always, guys, sit tight, get a drink, grab some popcorn. We'll see you right after the break.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming back to us here on the JP Broadcasting Network for continuing coverage of round 12 of the autumn season for UkSimracers MX5 in the East German circuit known simply as the Sachsenring. Join myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt and JP. We've had 2 cracking races completed, 2 still to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an absolute banging first 2 races. I'm just having a discussion with Craig Jones there as well. He was trying to tell me that all of the incidents weren't his fault, but you know, hey, look, we call them as we see them, Mr. Jones. We call them as we see them. So there we go on that one. We got a couple of minutes, I believe, left before we will advance to session. Race 3 is a random grid. Race 4, top 12 reverse again. So 2 top 12s this evening for the reverse grid. Should be an interesting race 3, I think.
Yeah, of course, around this circuit, normally that has seen the likes of MotoGP and Superbike action. It's also in recent times in IRL seen the GT3 machines of DTM roar around its hallowed circuit. But of course, with the MX5s, we're seeing speeds of close to 130 miles an hour, especially when you've got a lot of elevation changes, uphill, downhill, left, right. You name it, this circuit has pretty much got it, but also plenty of old school runoff area, sometimes barriers being close in proximity. But we've had 2 different winners so far tonight, JP, in the overall side of things. I mean, Pete Newman taking a great win, having got through on Steve Heffer, coming from the 12th spot on the grid after Fiona Siddons was put on reverse pole for the top 12 for race 2. I think we've got a real opportunity of having 4 overall different winners tonight.
Yeah, I don't like correcting live, Alex, but Pete won race 1 as well.
Ah, damn it.
Hence he was in 12th for the reverse grid.
Sorry, Pete. My bad. It's been a long year. What can I say?
But we've had 2 different winners in the AMs, Darren McLean and Colin Sampson, so I'm sure that's what you meant anyway. Oh,
yeah,
that one.
If we have 4 different winners in one class,
you succeeded, haven't you? There you go. Yeah, that one. I do like Miggy on YouTube. He said, I want to be Pete when I grow up. Well, I don't know what to say about that, Miggy, to be greatly honest.
If someone said I want to be Craig when I grow up, I would get worried.
Yeah.
Not for their sake, but for Craig.
Yeah, you don't want to be Craig when you grow up, mate. You definitely don't. Stay away. Just
yeah. Don't. No. And all I'm going to say is, my Miggy, don't start singing like Martin Lawrence in Bad Boys.
I don't want to hear blinking anyone sing. Especially not Craig, to be blatantly honest with you as well.
We had enough of that on the race for mental health for Jimmy Broadbent, didn't we?
Yeah, we definitely did. The grid will be up with us very, very shortly indeed, guys. There you go, Alex.
So here is the random grid for. We've lost a couple of cars in the meantime, but Ralph Cullinan's going to start from pole. Steve Hefford alongside. Colin Sanson will lead the AMs away from 3rd on the grid. He'll be alongside Pete Newman with Charles Kellerman, Tooney, Jamie Wilson, Jamie Ayres, Craig Jones, Fiona Siddons and Darren McLean bringing up the rear of the field. So it will be a full reverse grid as the 5 red lights start to ignite here at the Sachsenring for race 3 of round 12. And we are green underway at a good hole shot. Oh, dearie me. Colin Sanson didn't even get off the line.
No, didn't go anywhere there at the moment. Cullinan, big on the defence, went straight over to the white line. Newman's trying to come up the inside. Not sure what's gone on here, but Newman's managed to make it through from literally where he is, from 3rd to 1st. He is running with Steve Hefford round turn 2 into 3. He goes through the Castrol Omega, long right-hander, but Pete Newman taking the whole shot straight off the grid. I can't tell you what happened to Colin Sampson. He did not go anywhere, so he's got a bit of a mission to come back through, but at the moment, great battling at the front.
Yeah, Steve Hefford looking to get back up the inside. That's through at turn 6. At Sternquell gets a little bit of a tank slapper. Newman puts the old round the outside. There's the old Slim Shady. Retakes the race lead, so we could be on course for a clean sweep of 3 overall race victories. We run on board with Ralph Cullinan, who gives a little bit of a cheeky rub on the paintwork to the left rear of Jamie Ayres as we go through into turns 9 and 10. And then it's this very fast approach. It's going to be down into the right-hander And Jamie Ayres bumps over the curbing. Ralph Cullinan hoping to defend going into Saxon Curve. Coming up here at turn number 12. Ayres to the outside. Cullinan decides to brake early. Not fight it too hard, but gets the overspeed. Coming through the exit of the corner on the run through to Kreckenberg.
Yeah, Cullinan took the brake early, dive it and get the speed on the exit, and he did that well. Ayres gets a lot of speed out the final corner, as he normally does do, and has done. Jones has gone round.
Great Jones! Oh, did he save it out of the barrier? I did see a big trail of smoke from the tyres going into the air. Now, is he going to have a little bit of a possible assist from Jamie Wilson, or is it going to be self-induced? He runs on the curb. Oh, and he managed to get it pointing in the opposite direction. Fiona Siddons also went off at the same part of the circuit, but they both rejoined safely.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she did near enough the same thing, but just a little bit earlier on corner exit. She did. And then around they both go. It's like a pirouette ballerina audition there for Swan Lake from Craig Jones and Fiona Siddons. Now, unfortunately, down the back end of the field and fighting it out between the two of them there. So them guys fighting out for the final pole position spot in race number 2. But Newman is Newman. He's out in front, done a stellar job. Wilson's battling away with Kellerman here with McLean in the background. Sampson's trying to chase onto them. He really could do with Kellerman and McLean fighting. McLean has gone off into the shadow realm. He's on his way back now. Great recovery, but overtaken off the side of the circuit.
Yeah, I'm sure that Kellerman won't be too happy about that one as they head through into Saxon Curve at 12. But it is going to be a little bit more interesting. Ralph Cullinan, in the meantime, through the final corner, has got through on Steve Hefford for second place on the road. Pete Newman now expands his lead to just north of 1.1 seconds as we head on to lap number 3. So Cullinan, Hefford and Ayres battling away over second position down the long start finish straight, heading into Coca-Cola here at turn number 1. Steve Hefford tries to dive up the inside. Cullinan keeps it pinned to the outside through at Coca-Cola. Now into the left-hander here at 2. Before the run down the hill, it's quick changes of direction and a descent downhill that the drivers have to contend with. So they've got to basically cross the T's, dot the I's, don't make too much of a mistake. Steve Hefford nearly makes a mistake coming up through turns 4 and into 5 and 6 as they go through Standkveld on the run through down the hill. Short shoot into the sweeping left here at turn 7, and Jamie Ayres battling away with his Momo teammate Steve Hefford as we go down the dip into the left-hander here at 8. Then it's back up the hill once again. But the overspeed that Jamie Ayres seems to get looks to be pretty good for him at the moment, as long as he does not circumvent track limits again.
Yeah, he seems to carry quite a lot of speed. If Hefford stays in front of him here, which I don't think he's going to, unfortunately, it looks like Ayres might get the run round the outside. There he goes, job done for Jamie Ayres. However, he's got in very deep. We should see the Momo left in a minute. There is Steve Hefford. He's on the inside now. He slots in behind him, doesn't carry him forward. Kellerman and Sampson are battling out. Kellerman's just staying in front. Sampson's gone up the inside. Doors open for Colin Sampson. Forces Kellerman a little bit wide. They've come out the final corner. Imperative in the AM Championship with Darren McLean in front at the moment. He's got Jamie Wilson in front of that, and Hefford's got Ayres in front of him. So lots of action going on in the AMs, and Kellerman trying to go up the inside into 1. No, Colin Sampson retakes that lead.
Yeah, so Sampson doing everything in his power, using every trick in the playbook to keep Charles Kellerman at bay. This is allowing Darren McLean to escape up the road to about the tune of about 1.7 seconds. And there's still an opportunity for maybe, with 9.5 minutes to go, Colin Sansom to close that lead on Darren McLean for the AM class lead and maybe put a car between himself and Charles Kellerman. Yeah,
he's got time, hasn't he, at the end of the day? He's still got 9.5 minutes left on the circuit with lap times doing a 1:33. So they're going to be interesting. 1:30, what was it last time out? 1:34.5 for Sampson, 1:34.8 for McLean. So Sampson has quite got some pace. So McLean is pulled away from Kellerman, and McLean fighting with Wilson, and he's got to make a decision. Does he go past the pro, or does he sit in behind him? Because at the moment Colin Sampson's coming at a rate of about 1/10 to 2/10 per sector.
Yeah, Wilson off track. Oh dear, that's not what the Team Chimera car wanted to do in the 87. Ayres and Hefford just up ahead have also got off the circuit, coming out of the final corner at Queckenberg, and still, well, Wilson and McLean battling wheel to wheel, door to door nearly, as McLean comes across the circuit. He's going to try and keep the outside line open for the opportunity here into Coca-Cola. He's going to try and do what he can, but if he has a problem here, you can see now that Colin Sansom, he's done the old Nigel Mansell dummy, trying to get through at turn 2. Didn't quite work out, but this is a really good battle. This is for 5th, 6th and 7th, and they're covered by about 6/10.
Yeah, you can literally throw a blanket over the three of them at the moment. McLean in there, Wilson with Sampson closing. As I said, he's closed an absolute rapid rate of knots. He's looking like he's well suited to this circuit this evening, Colin Sampson, and he's looking very, very racy indeed. And I think for him, he's kind of got the last gasp opportunity and taking it, you know, full on bull by the horns and going for it here. He does need to clear McLean if he can. Put a car in between him and Kellerman. Kellerman's nearly a second back. Oh no, half a second back. Sorry, but Sanson again coming once more at the two in front, and while they're scrapping with Wilson and McLean, it's leaving Sampson to come right in again. He's just gained 2.5 tenths over sectors 2, and I think he could end up getting a pair of these.
Yeah, I mean, there's still possibility of that happening within the next 7 minutes as they go through into the final corner. And again, McLean, he's lost the back end. He's lost the back end. He's done a 360. Got it pointing the right way again. Darren McLean drops the ball past the halfway point and loses out on what is now the AM class lead, as Colin Sansom now picks up the pieces in 6th place, being hounded a little bit by Charles Kellerman. Charles not on the same pace as Colin, to be honest with you. Looking at the last lap times, Charles was about 3/10 of a second behind, pretty much 1:34.8, and Colin was on a 1:30. Oh dear.
Wilson's gone on his own. Let's put Sanson into 5th now.
Well, all I can say, this has got more twists and turns than the never-ending story, and that has plenty of chapters that have been written so far.
Love that film.
Yep.
I wish I could fly that animal. I don't even know what it's called, but it looks good.
Falcor, that was it, and it was Atreyu that was the character that was with him, that was his friend.
Yeah, but what is it?
I don't know. You know what? I'm going to have to look that up now.
Okay, you Google away as we keep an eye on Ayres closing in on the Irishman of Cullinan there. Cullinan goes a little bit wide into the kiddie litter.
Yeah, Falcor is a luck dragon, according to the Neverending Story wiki page.
Okay, not sure what that is, but sounds good.
Well, it's a dragon of some description. Let's
well, there you go. Another mythical creature.
Yes.
So, there we go. Not that we're declaring dragons aren't real, but, you know,
no,
listen.
It's like unicorns, mate.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, mate. Cullinan got that a little bit wrong. That's going to bring Ayres closed in right behind him at the moment. And that is the shot from Jamie. As you can see, he's literally... he's right behind him. Right behind him indeed for Ayres, and he carries a lot of speed through this 3rd sector. 2nd and 3rd sector is kind of Jamie Ayres' sectors this evening. So I'll be surprised. I'm not surprised. I just wonder how long Cullinan's going to hold on for.
I mean, time is not very much on Jamie Ayres' side. I mean, we're now, what, 4.5 minutes and counting. So effectively we've been running 10 laps a race, so we've got this plus 3 more still to go, but there is an opportunity. I mean, yeah, as you said, Jamie Ayres, when they go through turn 11 and then through into 12 and 13, seems to have such great momentum carry. It's like he's got the car cornering on rails, and you can just see by the steering wheel inputs, not much move. But what have you just spotted, JP?
That's rain.
Oh my Godfathers.
That is rain.
Rain halfway through a race. That's an Eastern German trait. Oh dear. And what are they on, folks? They are on slick tyres. Oh my goodness. I thought it was going to, when you said rain, and I thought, oh my God, it's going to put the cat amongst the pigeons, because now you can see JBS's steering inputs have become a little bit more intensified, and Cullinan's all over the shop with the back end. It's trying to step out.
It's only raining on the last half of the circuit. It's not raining on the front. Where we are right now in sectors 1, it is not raining, but watch as we go round the final sector. Look, just there, it starts kicking in halfway through Stemquell round to the Kafalen, and at the moment we have got rain one side of the circuit. We have not got it the opening sector, so this could be very, very interesting. It needs to be a lot heavier to affect the tyres, guys, and I do mean that in a sincere way. It does need to be a considerably amount heavier, but it does stem into the fact that race 4 could be tipping down.
Yeah, I completely agree. It sounds like the old adage when you're at, yeah, Tooney's got his wipers on, and yeah, they've all got their wipers on. It's getting a bit more intense. Oh, JBS nearly loses the back end. Oh, that was a code brown. He's going to need to check his underwear post-race. And you can see now, yes, it is intensifying, so they'll have the wipers on. It's very much like the old Spa cliche. It can be dry in one part of the circuit. Darren McLean's just gone off, and now down the start-finish straight, you can see that the wipers are on. Has it permeated its way all around the circuit?
Yes, it's now 1 and 2 and 3 all the way round.
Oh.
It's caked the whole thing. Making a YouTube chat. Interesting development. Yeah. Yes, mate. Yes, as I said, it's got to be a lot more to compensate. Yeah. But you can see Newman's lead rapidly decreased down to 1.5 seconds. Newman a 1:37.0 last lap, Cullinan a 1:35.66. So it's definitely starting to affect him. McLean's been off, Tooney's crashed, Siddons has been off. So yeah, it's going to be, watch as they come down from Sachsenring curve downwards. You see as they get down into the dip, it's almost made a puddle because they start spitting up rooster tails out the back end. You just saw it there, little bit of dips, and you start with the undulation here. It's like anything, if you're on a main road, you go down a hill one side, you're going to hit the puddle at the bottom. Watch as they come out of Sachsenring curve and start going down, because they do start spitting up a lot more rooster tails than what they have at the moment.
Yeah, I just saw that from Pete Newman as he was braking going into Queckenberg, into Sachsenring curve, and you can see there, yes, the rooster tails. Be careful of that gravel, JBS.
Oh!
Steve Hefford goes off. Was that Newman?
Tooney.
Yeah. Oh, no! Cullinan! Cullinan's in the barriers out of the final corner!
Oh,
no!
Barney's gone on holiday. He's not even waving the white flag, but we're on the white flag lap now. And he's now going to be a battle of survival. It will be physically a battle of survival. Who can get round these last laps? Well, McLean is having deep, deep trouble at this moment in time. Kellerman and Sampson have got back together because of the rain scenario. He's brought everything in. So we'll see how he gets on. Look at Sampson. He's really, really struggling. Really struggling.
And, well, the counter is counting down as we hit 0 officially. We're still going to complete, folks, 10 full laps of racing, nevertheless. But, yeah, that was a bit close for comfort there, Charles. Colin nearly got punted up the tailpipe there. You could just see how hard they are struggling. The steering wheel inputs will be absolutely frantic, along with brake and throttle modulation. You can see now the rain is really starting to come on in, and this is for the class lead. And also, more importantly, Colin Sanson has got his chief rival right behind him. Who's run wide?
Sampson went in a little bit hot coming through the left-hander coming out of Kefallen, and then the next left into, I think it's 7, and he ran in quite deep, and Kellerman had the opportunity to come up alongside him, but Newman is going to come over the line and take the victory. But boy, oh boy, he had to fight for this one.
3 for 3 out of the final corner. Pete Newman is going to take an overall victory once again here at Sachsenring. JBS, despite having another clean up on aisle 3, coming out of the final corner takes second. As Charles
he's round.
Kellerman's got it. Cut it. Oh, come on, Colin, keep it together. Colin Sansom's going to take the win in the AMS. McLean is around again at turn 13. Alan Toon has come across the line in 10th place. But my goodness me, Code Brown, clean up on aisle 3 for Darren McLean, who will finish second in AM, 5th on the road. Charles Kellerman takes 7th. Okay, let's have a look. So this is going to be going through. Oh, and he has to avoid. So Tooney's off the... Oh my goodness me, how close was that?
Oh my dearie me. Samson's already got a slide on. Watch this, he misses him by that much.
Wow.
Oh dearie me.
How to swing and miss just by a sheer circumstance of wet weather.
Oh.
That is the first time on JP Broadcasting history since the introduction of the Tempest racing system on iRacing that we've had mid-race rain come down, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's been half and half. Sorry, like half the beginning and half the end.
So Pete Newman takes a 3rd successive straight win overall here tonight, ahead of Jamie Ayres and Steve Hefford, with the latter two for Momo rounding out the top 3. Colin Sansom, again, picks up another win, was battling with Charles Kellerman, who dropped the ball and nearly collected Sansom in the process. Kellerman finishes 7th behind Darren McLean, 2nd in the AMS, and Jamie Wilson, who rounds out the top 4 in the pro class. Craig Jones, who was in strife earlier on in the race, finishes 8th, ahead of Fiona Siddons, with Ralph Cullinan and Sir Alan Toon rounding out the field. So we did say top 12 inverted, which means we're going to have a full reverse grid. Tooney on pole position, and the rain is in for the long haul.
Yeah, well, I think it might be Wilson. Wilson is there if he comes out and takes part. They're practicing now on wet tyres. You've seen the calamity and the chaos there as well. Thank you so much, Biggie, for that. I just noticed your logo for JPB. That's such a smart logo. Thank you. I can't take credit for it, mate. I didn't design it. I had a designer design it for me. But, you know, thanks anyway. Oh, no, that one. Yeah, race 4, tipping down. Very, very interesting indeed. 18 degrees on track. Cloudy. 3:15 in the afternoon.
Oh, good old East German weather. I've experienced that in real life. I think, when was it? August 2020. It was 35 degrees. And on the Saturday afternoon, we had the mother of all thunderstorms, and it properly tipped it down. But yeah, I think as soon as you said, well, it's raining, through the final couple of corners, I went, oh, we've got the Jenson Button Canada 2011 situation all over again, haven't we?
Yep, it's absolutely tipped down, and it's going to just keep getting worse for these guys. And the undulation is going to show and emphasize the puddles here. This is the thing. It's like real life, okay? You drive down here with the puddles in the middle on the dip. This is going to be the same way. And with the fact it's very up and down here, this could lead to, well, I think we're only going to have 9 laps now. I don't think we're going to get 10, Alex, but it's either going to go, we're going to see great racing, or we're going to see half the grid in the pit lane.
I think we could see a bit more calamity this time around, if I'm honest with you. Because, again, like, a lot of people don't always practice with rain in mind, but now with the Mr. Miggy saying, would you think they would develop a fog system? We've already had fog on UkSimracers, believe you me. And he said all German tracks would be very hard to race at. Yeah, try Hockenheim, October, DTM finale, what was it, 2014? We were actually delayed on track IRL that weekend for 2 hours before the racing finally got underway. And we just about made it by curfew, as in when the floodlights started to come on at the circuit.
Oh, look.
Oh, yeah, well,
Darren McLean there.
Yeah, that means we are going to have at least a couple spank it in the barriers, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think I don't think he's going to be the only one. I think there's going to be multiple doing that. Because they're so used to, look, Siddons has done as well. They're so used to carrying speed. Yeah, maybe. They're so used to carrying speed that the grips, they're not going to have that. And down here is going to be the worst. There's the puddles on the left-hand side. Normally, he's right the way to the left to open up this corner, but he just can't be there. So, oh, Ralph's off. So hold on to your hats. Yeah, Joker lap for Ralph Cullen. Hold on to your hats, guys, because this is going to be mighty.
You'll be holding on by the seat of your pants as well. Like, literally, you pull too hard on your pants. Oh, yeah, pull too hard on your pants. Wedgie. That's all I'm saying on that one.
Yep. There's going to be some working individuals out there tonight. Let's just put it that way.
And whoever wins the respective classes in both Pro and Am will have definitely earned their stripes, so to speak.
Newman's on a 4 for 4 for wins. Sampson's on a 4 for 4 for podiums. So that's where we're at the moment.
Yeah, and Sampson's looking pretty good when it comes towards the Am title. But we have got a fully inverted grid for race number 4 here at the Sachsenring. So here it is. Sir Alan Toon starts from pole position. He'll have Ralph Cullinan alongside on the front row. Fiona Siddons and Craig Jones, row 2. Charles Kellerman and Jamie Wilson, row 3. Darren McLean and Colin Sanson, row 4. Steve Hefford and Jamie Ayres complete the top 10. And rounding out the grid, the man who's got 3 for 3 so far. Can he do another top gear from the rear? Starting from the back is going to be Pete Newman. 15 minutes here at this East German circuit, around about an hour and 20 minutes away from Leipzig Airport. As the 5 red lights go on, they go out. We're underway here, and look, the rain has absolutely become biblical. But at the moment, Cullinan has got the initial hole shot. Siddons is trying to make it 3 wide by threading the eye of the needle on the run down to T1. Got to be very, very careful, as Tooney nearly has Craig Jones into his right rear, and Jones nearly getting into the back of Fiona Siddons, but Ralph Cullinan gets the early getaway. Oh, door check and paint swap between Tooney and Siddons heading into turn 3, but everyone, they're making it 3 wide. God, you like, oh my goodness me, I nearly had Pittons there.
Oh man, it's good to see Tooney still in second at this moment in time.
Yes.
The question is, well, I was going to say for how long, but that kind of...
Oh, careful. Oh, he's
Kellerman.
Oh dear, Kellerman straight into the front of a backwards facing. Oh, Craig Jones. Oh, that left front's that's not going to buff out Craig. I'm sorry, mate.
Yeah, at least you can't blame anybody else for that one. That is all on his own for Mr. Jones. But Cullinan, 2.9 seconds out in front. Done a great job so far. Siddons has got Newman, who's going for 4 for 4. Hefford's going off. Ayres is going off. The bottom, Tooney's already out. Tooney's out. Tooney's in the pit. Sampson's out. So I'm not entirely sure where... Oh, he crashed at the beginning. What happened with Colin Sampson then?
Yeah, well, I think there was a little bit of squeezing going on towards the back end of the field. So let's just have a look into T1. That was... I think that was a disconnect then.
Yeah, I think so too for Colin Sampson. This is what happened to Charles Kellerman. I don't think he had anywhere to go. Tooney's kind of sat in the middle of the road at this moment in time. There he goes round up front. He's holding his brakes, and Kellerman just straight in. Jamie Wilson off the side of the circuit there as well. Ralph Cullinan's gap now down to below a second, with the looming Steve Hefford, who loves the rain, spins the car up. Ayres in 3rd place. McLean leading the arms. Newman in behind him, and it would just be interesting to see how far he can go. Greg's there as well. Sad I couldn't make this one. I love a rain race, he says. Well, you're definitely going to get it here, mate. But Steve Hefford closing on the back of Cullinan.
I'm really tempted to use my soundboard for what happened to Craig Jones. You know which musical instrument I'm going to play at the moment, then, don't you? Yes.
Oh, Heaven's gone round.
Heaven's gone round. Oh, dearie
McLean
me.
is
Oh!
going somewhere.
That was definitely... Yes, permission to take off, Captain. Where are you going? 25 degrees right. That's not part of the flight plan.
Look at that.
Pete Newman right behind. Oh, we're running 2 minutes a lap now, which means we could probably be... Yeah, like you say, you can just see the amount of opposite lock, and the rain is absolutely biblical right now. And I'm sure that the drivers would have thought, "Oh, we're gonna have a good race here, aren't we?" Well, you could just see again another snap-on bit of oversteer. Pete Newman's like saying, "Oh, hang on, Darren's car is doing the shimmy in front of me."
He's literally right. Pete's not exactly not working. To be fair, he's kind of, you know, working just as hard at the moment, Newman, and he's, locked in behind Wilson. Ayres is locked in behind Cullinan. Heaven's trying to close in again, but you can see well, you can't see, to be blatantly honest.
Oh, Jamie Ayres looking up the inside of Ralph
Get off
Cullinan
the
for
curb.
the race lead.
Oh, Pete.
I mean, this is... They do say that rain is the great equaliser. That very much is proof in the pudding right about now.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't want to be riding them curbs. Stay off the curb. Oh, he got tapped.
But Steve doing the sportsmanlike thing there, just letting Pete go back through. Jamie Ayres has put in the fastest lap of the race, folks. We were doing 133s. We are now doing low 151s. Jamie Ayres now trying to close in, going through out of turn 7. They've got Darren McLean, who's leading the AMS at the minute. Charles Kellerman is still in pit lane. Alan Toon is out. And Ralph Cullinan's around.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there was contact. I'm going to follow the Ayres McLean situation, because McLean is literally leading the overall in the AMS. Yeah, that's right. And, he was. Unfortunately, he's not anymore on that one. But I do wonder if there was contact from the back end. There was a slide, yes.
Oh.
And unfortunately for Jamie Ayres, he does end up putting poor old Ralph around. Hepburne's now locked in with Newman. And at the moment, I wouldn't want to be out on track.
I'm glad. I could definitely vouch for that as well, because both of us would be like going,
No. Yeah.
Not happening on a month of Sundays.
Yeah, definitely not on that one. What have you been up to as he comes out from underneath the bridge? Oh, your curb. Dude, just stay off the curbs. On the curb again. Bless him.
Just had to. Bless him.
He'll give me a load of grief after this. He'll be like, "That's not very nice."
Well, I mean, the thing is, we can have a laugh at our own expense, and if you don't take the mickey out of yourself, life ain't worth living. Am I right, JP?
You are right. Yeah. I'm sure I'll speak to him after, and he'll give me bucket loads of grief or whatever. But there you go. It is what it is, Mr. Jones. Suck it up, Buttercup. But yeah, still. Oh, look at Hefford working that wheel. It looks horrendous out there at the moment.
Yeah, especially, you got to consider what force feedback they've got using.
They've both gone round. Newman and Hefford.
It was like synchronized sympathy spinning.
They've done it again.
Yes, this is going to be going through out of turns. Oh, it was like Tokyo Drift styly by the two of them there.
Yeah, both of them went round and then both get going again. And at the moment, Hefford's in front of Newman.
Greg saying, I thought he had that then. It was a good drift. Laugh out loud.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, he ain't got it. So, yeah.
And that puts Pete Newman 11 seconds behind Jamie Ayres. So, but still, 3 out of 4 ain't bad, as they say. Yeah,
Meatloaf said it was all right. Or was that 2 out of 3? He said 2 out of 3, didn't he? 2 out of 3.
3 ain't bad, yeah.
Yeah, he did there as well. Apologies if you think we've just got off into a little tangent at the moment. The cars are very spread out on the race circuit.
Yeah, hence the musical musical references and possible film references as well.
Mm.
I mean, I could throw another one in there. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there because time is counting down at the minute. And if anyone doesn't know Smokey the Bandit, have you been living under a rock?
Possibly, I suppose.
Well, it's from the song Eastbound and Down, which was actually the theme song for the original Smokey and the Bandit film, sung by the bloke who played Sandman, lorry driver.
Oh, okay.
So,
thanks very much for that.
Jamie Ayres has got a lot of good control at the moment with that number 46, and he's already up 9 places. So he's done exactly what Pete Newman did in race 2, and Pete Newman again just getting a little bit happy with the tail of that Mazda MX5 and trying to close in on Steve Hefford. This time a little bit nicer going through there for the pair of them, but yeah, it's. We say about Ray being the great equaliser, and in some respects, when they went Ray's coming to iRacing, and I thought, yes, finally we have the spanner in the works that everyone's been waiting for.
And then people cried about it after, which is always the way. You're never going to please anybody. I do love Miggy. Miggy has said in YouTube, I would play a soundboard of when a cartoon character is trying to run. I think it's supposed to be really fast, like in Tom and Jerry. Is that?
Roadrunner, I would have thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't got anything like that.
No, I've just got the Bogo soundboard.
Yeah, that's because I refused to pay $9.99 a month or whatever it is for Discord Nitro.
Yeah.
So there we go. I'm being a bit tight as Charles Caliban comes out pit lane again there. Newman's still tucked in behind Hefford, closing in through 1. You can see the state of the circuit it's well, that basically. The puddles everywhere, they're all developing, people chasing lines. Newman's just decided to aquaplane it through, coming out of Castro Omega and then through the left-hander here. I couldn't think of anything worse driving in this.
Sachsenring in the wet.
In
an MX5.
No.
Like being put between a rock and a hard place, or saying, "Oh, where's my chicken salad?" and you get tuna and onion for lunch instead.
Oh, Steve! Bye, Steve!
Dear.
Bye, Pete! Oh, he saved it!
Oh, that was the get out of jail free card for Pete Newman right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's the same part of the circuit. And Steve, he was on the curves, and mamma mia.
Yeah, through he goes. Unfortunately, Wilson's looked like he's had a moment. Kellerman's come out of pit lane and looked like he's crashed again. Unfortunately, Jamie Wilson has had a moment. Newman's just past Sampson, lapping him. Closing in now on McLean in front. Ayres is just going over the line now. And 3 minutes 40 on the clock, 1:53. We're going to get one more.
Yeah, well, they do. Well, it does rain a little bit more in Wales, but I think the thing is that if you've with this system on iRacing, I think I had, what was it, 50% of people saying, yeah, I really, really like the system, and then you got the other 50% going, yeah, I like it, but I think this could be this could be changed, this could be changed. And so obviously there's always patches done on season updates or week updates, but Ralph Cullen versus Darren McLean is definitely not showing signs of abating, mainly because of the fact that Darren dropped it in front of Pete Newman, who's now up to second on the road, but he's 9.4 seconds. And it doesn't matter who you are not going to close a 9.3 second gap with this and another lap to go.
No, I think, he is. Oh, he is. That's because Ayres is spun. He is. Ayres spun it.
Right, okay. This is at the same point where we just saw Steve Hefford, and he's gone into the same corner. Oh, no. That's not what he wanted, and Newman leads. Newman leads with 2 minutes and 10 to go. The clean sweep's back on again.
Yeah, it could be 4 out of 4. He's just got to hold it for the final lap. It's only going to be one more. It's going to be an 8-lap race. That means it's literally lost 2 laps from the dry to the wet. Newman's going to hang on. I think he's got to try and hang on for the final lap.
He needs to hang on because we go on to the final tour here on lap 8. Jamie Wilson gets through on Fiona Siddons in the meantime. Ralph Cullinan closing back in on Darren McLean, who's on course for an AM class win tonight. But Pete Newman leading Jamie Ayres by about half a second going through Coca-Cola. Now into turn 2 on the run down to 3 at Castrol Omega for the 8th and final time. Well, I did say about the never-ending story. Well, the story of this season hasn't quite yet ended, but a very good chapter's been written here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Newman's done a great job. If he just keeps it on, he's wrapped up a 4 and a 4 for the final race of the season. Sampson's got 2 wins and 2 wins in a second, so he at the moment he's got a 3rd, so he's going to have a full house, and the only other man to take 4 podiums out of 4. I can't see anybody else. Ayres is on a 3 out of 4. Oh, maybe not. Did he hold that? He did hold it there as well.
Billy Bigberry's right there was Jamie Ayres. To have the stones to keep it planted through that part of the circuit. Steve Hefford about now 4.7 seconds behind, but 2 corners to go. Pete Newman, he's got to be there. He's got to tippy toe like he's treading on eggshells at the minute, as we've got the short shoot up towards Queckenberg for the final time. Check it is out for the 4th and final race of round 12. The UkSimracers MX5 Autumn Season 2024. It is going to be a run to the line. Ayres is closing. He pulls to the left-hand side, but Newman's got the clean sweep.
Yeah, he's got it there as well. Really hard for Ayres to even remotely think about getting that because of where that line is. It's very, very close to the final corner, literally there. So he only had to go, well, not even halfway down the straight in general to basically make sure he stayed ahead. But he did do. He wrapped up 4 out of 4 for Pete Newman. Don't forget, it was the first he started, then he started 12th, then he started first, and then well, no, he didn't start first in race 3, was he? I think it was mid-pack, and then he was 12th in race 4. So great job. I love Alan Tooney, YouTube chat. Bit slippery out there. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and Colin Sansom already trying to take liberties with lack of track adhesion as Fiona Siddons comes across the line. But let's take you through the results. Pete Newman has had a night to remember. 4 for 4 for the Pure Sims driver. 1 from pole position, 2 from the back of the grid, and another one mid-pack. So well done to Pete. Gets a clean sweep of points here for round 12. Jamie Ayres and Steve Hefford round out the top 3 once again. Darren McLean takes a win here in the AM class, rounding out the top 4 with Ralph Cullinan. Oh, Ralph, it was so close for him to maybe get a win on the board and break the streak of Pete Newman. Jamie Wilson rounds out the top 6 with Fiona Siddons, Colin Sansom, Craig Jones finishing a couple of laps down, Charles Kellerman out with 4 laps remaining, and Sir Alan Toon out on the opening tour.
The interesting thing will be the stand-ins. Now, normally we can bring you up to date with that situation, but the thing is, there's so many other things that need to be taken into consideration. I think Dan Hunt, I don't know now, because I did have Hunt and Kellerman winning the AM, but Sampson, I think, may have got there as well. We've got Colin Sampson in the interview room, the only other man, along with Pete Newman, to take 4 podiums out of 4. I think he's wrapped up the AM overall here. Colin, welcome in. How are you?
Sweating and heart racing.
I bet, mate. I think, and I say this precariously here, I think you've wrapped up not only this season's championship, but I think you've wrapped up the whole Tri-Seasons Championship.
this season's as well. I'm not sure about that. And yeah, until the scores are on the doors, I'm waiting to find out. So hopefully I've done enough.
You were only 13. No, what were you? 19, 23 points back for this season, and you've beaten Charles in every race. I'd wait.
Yeah.
Don't take my maths, mate. Don't take my maths.
I was going to say, just keep that bubbly on ice at the moment before you start celebrating, Colin.
Yeah, don't take my maths on that one. But you know,
I hope
interesting.
I've done enough. It's been an amazing. It's been an amazing year. Charles has been the bane all the way through. He's never let me go, and it was touch and go whether I could beat him tonight again after giving away 22 points last week. So it's been amazing racing against him. So.
Yeah, definitely has. It's been a great fight between the two of you there as well, Colin. So well done for that one. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, the wife for being my pit crew and heart racing just as much this evening. My brother watching, and yeah, everyone else or anyone else that's watching. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Colin, thank you so much for coming in and joining us. It's been a pleasure. And, well, I'm going to say congratulations, but I'll say good luck as well.
Thank you. And thank you for the broadcast, mate. Thank you a lot.
No worries, man. You take care, buddy. Right, and now we've got Fiona Siddons for you there, Alex, as well. So Fiona Siddons in the booth. Going to have a chat with Mr. Alex Goldschmidt.
Hello, Fiona. How are you doing?
Good evening. Yeah, doing well.
Talk to us about your first thoughts in race 3 when the heavens decided to start to open and then it became biblical for race 4.
Yeah, that was rain and half. That was it. It was hard to keep, even going a gear higher in the corners. You were still getting wheel spin and sliding. It was mayhem.
But of course, Sachsenring is not a is a track that's quite fast. You've got a lot of elevation changes. What's the biggest challenge for a driver going around here in an MX5?
Biggest challenge for me was I bought the circuit just before I came into the station tonight. But
James did say that was happening with a few drivers, I think, including yourself as well.
Yeah, but it is a challenge to get every corner right. I mean, I was getting, until the rain come, I was getting faster every race. I got down to the 36s in race 3, and then the rain come and spoilt it.
But still, at least having the challenge of a different circuit. What were the favourite bits that you enjoyed on the circuit here at the Sachsenring tonight?
Yeah, I think turn 1, 2, 3, and 4 was good fun through there because you was on edge all the time, and it was really good fun trying to keep it straight.
Yeah, but the main thing is that's one of the beautiful things about the UK sim races is that whenever there's a challenge, there's always a bit of a fun element because everyone's talking about it post race or a couple of days after the event. How do you feel that you've done despite having the lack of practice?
I don't know where I finished in race 4 in my class, but I did.
I think you
got a podium in race 3. So
yeah, you finished second ahead of Colin.
Oh right, yeah, that's good
Cairns,
then. Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's not bad. Second and a third in race 3 and 4. So yeah, happy with that.
So Fiona, before we let you go, anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Just want to shout out to you guys. You've done a great job all season for us once again, and shout out to Richard Tracy, who's given me a lift down to Brighton for my operation in December. So.
Brilliant. Fiona, thanks very much for jumping into the booth to have a chat with us post race 4, and well done tonight with those couple of podiums.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
There you go.
End of mic drop. But I think that's one of the good things when when you said to the when we got the smallest violin in the world playing for someone that we know and love dearly, Mr. Craig Jones, name check. That's one of the beautiful things about our drivers, that they will still have the they'll buy the track and they'll still give it all guns blazing and have fun whilst doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you've got to, haven't you, at the end of the day, you've got to make sure that you're enjoying what you're doing, and this is what they've done here. I think it's been a great season. You can see what happens for the winter season and what they're going to do out there, but overall, I've thoroughly enjoyed this season. It's been absolutely amazing.
Indeed. Well, that really wraps up the coverage here for the UK SimRacers MX5. The autumn season, round 12 at the Sachsenring. You've joined myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt all the way through the last couple of hours. But still, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. There's still plenty of racing coming over the course of the rest of the week. So, race hard, race fair. But if in doubt, flat out. We'll see you next time. Good night for now.